Okay, talking about classes, we are going to create a class called person, right? Inside of person class, we have constructor function, right? When we instantiate an object from the class, we will need some input from the instantiating, right? So the input, we are going to place it in our constructor function. So we get our first name from the user, right? And we get our last name from the user. And we get what? Age. Now we need to manage the states of the class. We have some variables which is going to be static, which we are going to make sure that any additional class that will extend this class will have access to them. Or if there's an inheritance, they will be able to inherit these particular variables or properties, right? So we use a keyword this to refer to the class, which is the person, right? So the person's first name, sorry. So this refers to the person. So you say the person's first name is equals to the first name they are providing when the instantiation is done, right? And then we have this dot what? Last name. It means that the person's last name, the person which is the class here, its last name is the one they are providing us at the time of what? Instantiating. Now we have this dot age is equals to the age given to us. We are done. Sorry. Equals to the age given to us at the time of instantiating. Okay, so we are asked to provide some methods, right? A method that will calculate or that will give us a full name. Let us know the full name of the person, because the person will give us first name, last name, age. So we want to know other methods. So the methods we do get full name. I was saying that you should have that function and then what? Get full name. By conversion, right? By conversion, when you have methods in class, you don't bring the keyword function, right? You don't bring the keyword what? Function. And also, EX6 syntax says that when you are declaring methods in an object, you can decide to ignore the keyword or function. So you get straight by saying get what? Full name. And you define what you want to execute inside this code block. So what do you want to do here? You want to return this dot what? First name. Then you concatenate it with what? This dot last name. Now we have this method. We can decide to add another method to check if the person is eligible to vote based on the age the person provides, right? So you can have a function called vote. So inside that method, look at how I'm doing. This is quite different from Vue.js, where inside your method, after every method you bring comma. Because Vue.js methods are objects. But this, we are declaring our methods one after the other, after the constructor function. It's not in an object, but it's what? It's inside a class. Do you understand? Okay, now the first thing we have to do is to look at the existence of the age, if age is there. So we say if if this was age, that means we have access to age, right? And at the same time, this that what? Age is greater than or equals to 18. The person is eligible to vote. Normally, when you are checking with these two statements, right, you are going to get only one information given to the person. So what if date is not there? It means the person is also not eligible to vote. Now, age is not there, sorry. It means the person is not eligible to vote. So you can decide to separate them. This we can do it this way, but you can decide to separate them and say that if it is true, then perform an action. If the age is not there, like this, then ouch, press enter. So if the age is not there, I'll say console .log. Don't you think you are creating inconvenience for me? I'm recording for you, and you're also doing. What are you doing? I'm recording video, not audio. It's video. What I'm recording is video. So whatever you are saying is on the video. If you go and edit it. Other than that, in the near future, I'll say the tape was doctored. Okay, say please what? Age. Because when our age is okay, we can do something here. If it's not there, then you let the person provide what? Age. So if it's there, then we can now check. You can now check again and say this that age is greater than or equals to what? 18. Then we say the person can vote. So what we can also do, right? What we can also do is to come here and set this dot can vote to what? False by default. So if the person meets it, then we update to true rather than consoling. Other than that, we will not have that feel of updating our state, right? Because console, we all know what console does. And the fact that you console does not mean that you have updated a state. So you can say if it's greater than or equals to 18, then you can say this dot can vote is equals what? True. We change the state. So anytime we invoke this vote and then the age is what do you call it? Is above 18, we can set this one to what? Okay. So now that we've finished setting it, what do you think we should return? We can return can vote. Once we are done setting it, we can return can vote to see whether our can vote is still what? False or what? True. I don't know whether I get my point. Yes. So you can decide not to even return it over here. Other than that, it will be weird. You yourself, you finish setting it now and then you are also returning it. So why don't you return the entire function when everything is done? So it means it will be returned down here. It will be returned down here. So return can what? So by that time, all modifications have already been done here. So if any of these fail, it will go and pick the top there, false. True or false? But if the modification is done here, it will print true. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now what if the age is less than 18? So automatically, if something is not greater than or equals to 18, what is it? It's less than. So there's no need of saying that else if it's less than. Don't waste your time. So just say this dot what can vote. We set it to what? False. Do you know how I set it to false? You don't know any other method invoking that state. We could have another method here. Say female vote. We check the gender and look at the state of the voting and update it to what? True. So when you are coming with mindset, oh, this one there, definitely, if this is true and by default it's false, why do you have to call it again and set it to false? Maybe by the time you will call it, you have another method which has what? Already changed the state. That is why you have to think as a developer. Why? When you finish using this, you finish developing the system, it's not only one user who will use it. Someone is there entering data for female. Someone is there entering data generally. So the one doing the data for female, because we had female voting, it updates the state. And now I set it to true. If you are now coming to this particular side and you forgot to set the state, what does it do? It will go and print true. So though the person didn't meet the right to vote, but can vote is true because one method updated it. Right? That is why you always have to look at for this one. So it's always advisable that you don't modify global variables. You don't modify global states. Like if you declare it inside the, what do you call it? You declare it inside the constructor. Make sure anything you will do is within the closure. It's within the scope. How are you getting my point? Other than that, one method will be invoking, will be changing the state, and you're also calling it. If you don't take care, you don't check to see the state that you want, you always get it wrong. Because you have developed a method that does voting. Someone too is depending on that same voting true or false to do something to update again. So you might not know when it's false, you might not know when it's true. And because you don't know, just set it to false. Whatever is there, take it out. Someone will also go the extra mile to check, see, if it's false, then just leave it like that. If it's true, then I'll set it to false. You understand? That's what someone will do. To be on the safer side, I'll make sure I'll update that state, but I'll bring it first to check the state. If the state is true and I want it to be false, I'll check it. But this one, we are not checking whether it's true or false. We just want to be false. I hope it makes sense here. Okay, now we are done with this. I'm not going to add another method to it, so that we just have this one. Okay. Now I'm going to instantiate a person object, person 1. It's equals to what? Why do we keep on using person? Meanwhile, we have a lot of persons. Right? Adam, Stephanie. So new person. Or was Adam not a person? Yes, Adam. His first name was Adam and his last name was what? Eve. Or no last name. No only first name, last name. Abraham. Charlie, no. So first name, last name. Generation Ben Shase. After all done, Shase. Abraham, instead of one papa. Adam. Abraham, then difference. Abraham, then Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. Okay. So we have Adam Eve, right? So actually Adam Eve with the for Adam Baba. Okay, then from Adam you have what? age. So age, we can make it somewhere 15, right? Now this is what we are getting from the instantiating. So when you do Adam dot age, you get 15. Last name is what? Baba. First name. Let's look at vote. What do you get? You're supposed to have been this. You remember? Fire, you know, let's go back. Clear this. Refresh the browser. So that we get new. Other than that, it will tell you that it already exists. So now you bring this dot convert. So now we have, let's Adam equals to new person Adam Baba. And what else? 15. So now when we do can Adam vote? Can Adam vote? False. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Adam cannot vote because age is what? 15. Now let's check and change Adam's age to what? 8.5. Why are you laughing? Because we didn't check. When we certain age, didn't check to see that if someone provided 8.5, they should throw error. So someone will give you 8.333 as age. You remember I told you users cannot be trusted. Okay, so if it's 18, right? It says Adam already exists. So we have to instantiate new one. Once given, Adam is already existing. Okay, if Adam is already existing, let me do it this way. Adam dot age equals to 18. What about that one? Right? So let's see Adam. Can Adam vote now that his age is 18? True. It works. So there's no need of creating instantiating because you already have that object. And objects are what? Mutable. If it's mutable, why don't you mute it? Rather than instantiating the same different person. So it means you can change even Adam's name. You can change Adam's first name. So maybe Adam dot what? First name. You can change it to what? Moses. Right? So if you have Adam, hey, Adam and the first name is Moses, actually. What is he? It's Moses, right? So it makes sense. So the controversy that brought us back to yes. My main class, I'm sure. Okay. What made us came back, right, was the spread operators. They are recording, so there are questions to this.
So if we say this dot get age,
This dot what?
Get age, then we assign the function to it.
Was it full name that we brought?
Okay, so this dot gets
So it's Adam dot what? Get full name. Like this.
So I'm asking where you assign it.
Okay.
function to it. So you should just say get full name. So I'm saying, what if you say this dot get full name? It's equal to the assign a function to it.
Yeah, that one you are no more in the right. You are, you know, even when you use the class over here, you can still use prototype. You can use prototype, it will work. Let's see. It's person, right? Person dot get age. You didn't have get age there. So you suppose when you do this, it's going to be a property instead of what? A method. So it's going to be like this dot what? Proto. Now inside it was a function that will return this dot what? Age. Right? So now when you do it's Adam, right? Sorry. Adam dot what? Get age. Right? Now when you do Adam and you press enter, look at the chain. Can you see vote over here? I mean the method vote. Can you see there? Can you see get age there? It's inside the proto. That is why I was giving example was when you were giving birth, did you have something small in your stomach? And you were saying no, some were saying yes. And I said even if it is, when you came, they breastfeeded you. So you came with empty objects in your stomach and they start fooling things in it. You came out without wearing shirts, right? Then they gave you shirts, start giving you things. So over here, when we finished defining our class, we didn't have constructors, right? I mean constructor methods. And we start feeding it inside. That's why we use the prototype. So it will pull all of them here. So you see we have what? The age, get age over here. But look at the vote, where it is and how it's fed. It tells you because we use the prototype. That is how it brought it here. Though they are all under the proto. But you could realize that their colors are changed based on the engine we are using. This is a V8 engine that we are using. So if we invoke age, it will work. If we invoke get full name, it will work. And that of what? Vote.
So what if we don't want it in the prototype, but want it in the main class?
If you do it that way, it's going to be a property. It's not going to be in the proto. Every method comes under the proto. If you see anything here, it could be a method, but it's a property. You see, properties can have functions at their value. True of course. Yes. Properties can have functions at their value. So look at something. I can say it's person, right? Person dot. These are the things you can add to it because you know it's a class. These are the things you can add to it. So let's look at the object that we have instantiated, right? That one should be able to work. Let me look on the person first. Person dot. I think we can only do that on the object we have instantiated, right? Or the time that we are creating the function. That is where we can now add what you are saying. That one, it will appear in it. So let me give it this way. We have Adam, right? Dot. Instead of age, you don't want age, but you go for name. Name is not defined. Now we have Adam, and when you expand Adam, look at what you have. So you have the name here. It didn't go to the prototype. We can even say that, okay, the Adam that we have dot name, we are going to give it a function, and the function is going to be, it's going to return just the first name. Right? Now when you do Adam, let's see what you have here. This is a function. But why didn't it go through the, because we assign it as a property, the value of a property called name. So when you come here and expand, you see, it also has got its own prototype. So the chain continues. That's why we call it the proto chain. It continues. So when you do Adam.name, it's a function. Look at what you get. Give you the first name. Do you get it? Okay. Any more questions, or should you continue? Okay, what brought us to that thing was, we were saying that A is equals to 1, 2, 3, right? This is an array. We are assigning A to an array of 3 items. And we are also assigning B to array of what? 3 items, 4, 5, 6, like this. We want to combine the two to make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I was saying that you can say that the first array, which is A, you concatenate it with what? The second array is what? B. And automatically you get the answer. It's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is what you do concatenation. Right? And I was saying that in doing the concatenation, there is another way of doing that, which is called spread operator. Use a spread operator to do that. When you do 1, 2, 3, A, right? You have spread the array, the items in it across. This, it wouldn't work, right? You have to put it in a state that will be able to work, probably in a loop or inside an array, or you understand? It's going to spread it. Now, let's look at something over here. We are saying that C is equals to an array, and in that array we are bringing A and we are bringing what? B. We all know A is an array and B is what? An array. So when you press enter, C gives you what? Array of arrays. If you did mathematics, you learn something about matrix. Was it matrix? Matrix. You remember we did something about matrix. Matrix is array of arrays. How do we know that? You can pick a state like this: 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is an array. 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 And this is an array. Is it not matrix? This matrix, right? Yeah, they have some denotations or whatever over here. It's an array of what? Arrays. So you can use, when we have been given a question, this is a matrix question, you use the array of arrays to do that, to resolve it. They can give you a question. I've never seen such a question before. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they are telling you to get the value of this one. Add it together. This plus this is 8 plus 7 is what? 15. Right? This plus this is what? Plus this is what? It's 15. They add the two together. calculate the values in this diagonal, they will give you the what do you call it? This in a pictorial form. They will tell you to add the values in the diagonal form and add the values together. The two resultant values will get added together. So you calculate this. So how do you use JavaScript to do that? So what comes to mind is that this is an array. This is an array. Right? So we have this at the last, at the beginning, this is the middle of the array. This is at the beginning of what? The array. So this one too at the beginning of the array, the middle, end. So you know how you are going to add it together. You can add this, that together, add this, that together, then add it together. If you are adding values in array, you use reduce. It's a method in array. So if you want to add things together, you use what? The reduce. And then you are going. So let's look at, if we say C rather, after doing that, we have array of arrays. And you open them, you see we have, just like the way matrices. You see how it's done. So the diagonal is going to be like this. If you had a third one there, you have seen the diagonal coming there. And this one too will be there. Then you add them together to get your value. So we were saying that when you do it this way, you're going to get array of arrays. So how do you now combine them together using the spread operator? Then we came out with D. And we were saying that D is spreading A, comma, and spreading what? B. Remember the dots are what? Free. So when you press enter, you are going to get it in this form. So you can say F is equals to this, but you are spreading A. And look at what you have. So anytime you do F, you have the value. So you have, what do you call it, extracted the values, the items in the array A and give it to what? B. Now give it to F. So you can now use F to do whatever. You can look through, you can check the length, you can do whatever you want. I hope it makes sense. So with that, that is why we are trying to say that if we can do something of that nature. Why don't we get how many? No, don't go there. Don't go there. I know where you're thinking. If you are learning that way, you will suffer. So because I had 3 didn't use 3 dots. Yeah, that's why I'm also giving you an example. So look at something. I have G equals to what? Array. 1, 2, 3. Now I'll give you A. So anytime I do G, look at what I get. It's not because the values in there or the items in there were 3. That's why I'm using 3 dots. You're getting my point? Yes. That is the syntax. You should have known that. I would have told you. Okay. Now we have person, right? Instantiating from what? New person. And with this person, we are giving him a name called Adam. And the last name is called what? Baba. With what age? 15 initially, right? So now we have this. And we have another person, which is person 1. We are giving the person a name of what? Let me get me know. Musa Fahati. The president Musa Swala. And the age what? 20. Right, so we have now two persons instantiated. One is called, how do you get their name? So let's see, person 1, person dot what? Get full name. We want to get their names here. Right? Adam Baba. And then the other one is what? Person 1. They are getting what? That's right. Now we want to get these two names in one array. So in our array, we have something like this. Adam, Baba, Musa, and what? So this is what we want to achieve. So how do you do that? We can use concatenation to do that. We can also use what? The spread rotated. So we are going to use the concatenation. Then after we use what? The spread. This is how we call it. Spread. Spread what? Operator. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is that we have person dot what? Get full name. With this, we say you're going to split it with their spaces. Split them with their spaces. Once you finish splitting, you get an array. True or false? Yes. Let me test it. This is our array. So once we finish splitting it, why don't you concatenate it? Concatenate it what? Any other array. So let's say if you are saying I should concatenate with any other array, let's try to bring something like 1, 2, 3, 4. And look at what we get. Have you seen how it is? Okay. We don't want it in this format. We don't want to bring this one, but we want to bring Musa Swalah's name in there. So what do? Say person 1 dot what? Get full name. And we do what? We split that one to get an array. But once we split, it's not any other split, but we split it what? Spaces. Like this. What do you have? The same thing that we intended doing. Is it okay? Okay, now let's use the spread operator syntax to do that. With the spread operator, we have to bring our array like this. And we say the three dots. Now you do what? Person dot what? I shall say through error. This thing will work. It start giving us error. Let's finish. That's what I'm asking. So now we have what? Get full name. I shall say. You see how it spread even the full name? You have not even done it. It has started spreading it. And then you have what? Split. Then you bring our comma here. So we assume this is going to give us an array, and we are spreading that array through. And this one too, we are going to get an array. So it's what? Person 1 dot what? Get full name dot what? Split. Let's see what we have. Somehow, but we didn't spread. We didn't spread. So we didn't spread this one. The person 1, we didn't spread. So it means to have what? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So you can use the concatenation, and we can also use the spread operator The difference is that when you are doing concatenation is a function. But when you are spreading into an array, right, you have to bring the array sign before it transforms. But I've never tried using the new array before. Let's try that one and see. We want to spread by using new array. You know arrays, you can do this to create array. You see when you say new array, it's down there. So why don't we spread it over here? So you can bring our array here. You can bring our array here. 1, 2, 3. You see it's getting the array inside. So let's spread it inside here. I've never done that before. So we are saying that we are going to spread person that what? Get full name. That what? Split. And we are splitting what? The spaces in between them. If you bring this and you don't bring space, you're not going to get it. It will give you the same, it will give you the full name and bring it into one particular array. But when you split it, let's try and see. You see, because we didn't split, you're giving us, even this one, we didn't finish it. Right? Because it's giving us the entire, what do you call it? Full name, and it's splitting them. But if we had brought the space in here, look at what we have got. So it means the space is what? Relevant. You are trying to split the chest based on the spaces in them. Someone will say that, we've always been using spaces. When are you going to change it? When are you going to change it? Let me give you an example. I have amount here, right? And I'm assigning the amount to 10,000 Ghana cedis, right? You know, anytime you take you take value from an input, it's a string. Are you aware of that? When we are coding, the input field you have, if you say even amount, and the person types something, you fetch it from to the database, it's always in this form, a string. So you now have to pass it for it to be a number. So the person can decide to enter 10, 1,000. So it's up to you to convert and take away the comma and do what? Work with them. Does it make sense? So how do you take off the comma and get real value, amount to work with? Because you cannot trust user. I know if he say 1 million to do 1 BR comma. Meanwhile, you're filling forms, but what do? You don't have to throw error. So what do we have to do? So now we have amount to what? 10,000. So you can say amount, right? Dot what? Split. What are you splitting? Split where you will see comma. Where you see comma, right? When you press enter, look at what you see. Take the 10 from what? The 00. So when you are done, then you say join the two together. Join it together, like this. If you bring space, it's also going to bring us spaces. So you join them without any space, so that you make it just 10,000. And that's what you have, 10,000 straight. So once you have this one, then say, okay, once you are done that, pass it to int. Pass what? Int. So it will convert everything to what? Now you can use it to do your calculation. See the color changes. At first, it was a string, now it's a number. So let's see something. Let's see what you are going to get with this. How do you see? And let's see after we pass. Let's see what you are going to get. So anytime you pick the value from the input, automatically gives what? A string. So you now have to pass it so that you can do calculation. If we are in doubt, let's look at something. I have amount, right? Amount. If I add 2,000 to it, what am I supposed to get? You see what I'm getting? It's rather concatenating instead of adding. So you see, it needs to concatenate because it's a string. So I need to pass it. So if I say, okay, wait a minute. What if I do this? Pass int and add it, 2000. What do you see? Already, what the amount we have was what? So still, it's not working. How we want it? It's still not working. So it means when you pass int, you are getting what? 1000. Do you know why you're getting 1000? Because of the comma. You understand? A split in IE one F1 and then start using that particular one. Which shouldn't be so. That's why you have to, first of all, take off the sliding comma, right? Join it together. You pass it and your calculation will now work. Okay, if it's that way, let's look at where we had it splitted at this point, right? And join. So can we now add our 2000 to it? 12,000. Makes sense. So if you don't work on it, it will be difficult for you to now use them to do calculation. We have one particular platform, GS Space. One guy sent it over there. He said he's working with work now. But yeah, and to me add it. Like or input in the free user no add 1000 to 8. User enter comma or add 1000 to 8. Now I pick 1 because 1000 once a comma. I pick 1. Now add the any count. I add so and add them there 2001. I bet 1012, 1200 in that order. So he brought it, and he needed to use that one and add other values. That is where I was also in a car going home. And I realized how frustrated the guy was. I had to pull my laptop and then do the same stuff and send it to him. But still, it wasn't working. It wasn't working. He was adding two values. Let's say amount 1 and amount 2. So he passed 1 and he passed 2, was adding them together. It was not working. And I realized that the guy was still working with a string. Strings are immutable. So once we are adding one string to another string, it will never work. So he has to define it, give it to a variable 1, and define another one and give it to another variable, add it together before it works. So some of these things you will meet them as you move along. Right? Okay. So now you see where we use the split with commas. Someone too can also give you something like this. You can have it this way. And the person wants this thing to be in a sentence form, in a normal way. Actually, can you convert this in? I copied this from online. I just want to take it out and then make things work. Can you get me a script? You say you're a programmer. Can you get me a script to do that? Right. So can you try it? Okay, let's see. Let's see. So what am I supposed to do first? I have to get it to a variable, right? Yes. So what is a variable? I can say, let's put because of this, right? Then I do what? Yeah, we all know that. Keep quiet. Oh boy, now I'm better. Now quote no problem. Mr. Elena correct there. Me no quote wrong. Wood. With you. Charlie, the verb is different from coding. I really know that. You know, someone you see someone like this one there with my book. Oh, but convention. Okay, or structure now very things. But who run the now call the first one now so Charlie. So the name is. What to punches now? First one now can't talk. Also. That is why Muhammad Ali said that it is not the number of times that you have been hit, right? But it's the number of times that you have been hit and you are still standing. That is matters, right? Opinion the other never come name video. Until we need to kwa one another surgeon was a child. This guy the be. So it's not about the vim. Oh, simple crap. You are trying to see whether it worked there before you tell me. Quick. Can someone help me? So I'll split it. I'll bring my split into brackets. The quote. Now bring what? Dash. So I'm splitting with what? Dashes. So anytime you see dash biano, the value in the make it an array. Separate arrays. Does it make sense? Okay. Now what he's saying, if I do this, you see? Now what is the next step? Dot join. Then I bring what? Like this. Then I bring space. What if the person says you want to replace them with plus? You are getting my point. So that's where the fun comes. Well, I want to replace them with star. I want to replace them with what? Hash. Right? If it's hash, look at what you get. Right? If it's star, what do you get? If it's spaces, what do you get? Come back to the normal way. Mumba, so now get it. That is how it is. And then the difficulty now is it's supposed to be a sentence case. And we all know sentence case, the goal is supposed to be a capital letter. Now if you know how but hold on.
First one.
You know, we talk about that one. You split it again. So after I'll split like this, I split that one too.
Shift the same.
I will shift it. Let's have a human the some small miss here with the sentence case. So you can do this. After you split, you can get this. A like this. Sorry, you already have A. A is already used, right? You can use SP, standing for split, right? So we can say SP 0, we are getting this. And we can say car at 0, we are getting G. And you bring it to what? To upper. It's a function. We have G. Right? So we join it to what? So it means that we need to we have to split it two before we can change the car at. Because if we don't split it, it will be difficult to join them back. It will be difficult to join them back. There are some more. So I'm coming over here. So when you split, you get this. You get it on array 4, right? And you target why? What happened to our split? It's not supposed to be. We have our G, right? So to what? This was join is not a function. Yeah, because we have only one. We have only one split. Because we are dealing with only G. We are dealing with only G. We can't join it. I'm not getting it. No. Can't do that. Can't you use what? No. Remember we did this in class? Remember? First array will give you the goal. This is simple. Okay, let's look at this from this angle. When we do the SP, what do you get? We get an SP like this, right? Okay. Let us make sure that we join them. We join it like this. It's not this case. So after we join them, I'm going to split it again. Oh no, I need to. This is what I want. I need to split it this way, and I can get the G and join them back. You understand? So when I split it like this, so FC stands for first character. I have my what? It's not football club. So I have my FC, right? So even the FC crowd now, I could have changed it to what? I could have changed it to what? To uppercase. F is already existing. C is already existing. The using is let me start afresh. Let me get the data and start start afresh. Okay, so now we are going to make it in a sentence case. We are taking off the. I have my quote, right? So I'll say quote dot split. I have it this way, but I want to take away this to get it this way. Right? Then I join them. When I join them, I have it in this way. After joining, I split again. Right? So after splitting, I'm not going to bring any spaces. It's just split like this. So when I split like this, then I pick my first character. And I'll just call it FC. This is the first character. So once I have my FC, then I do what? Uppercase. So anytime I do FC, I have G. Right? But before we have the FC, before we targeted our first character, let's come here and make RC. RC was the remaining characters. After we split it, right, we need to take away the G from it. Right, we need to take away the G from it. So when you're taking away the G, we do dot what? Slice. You remember slice? We are slicing one, meaning the first one will go, and RC will do that what? The G. Right? So if you have RC like this, we can join RC together. So now let's see when you join it. Problem. You see, you have gotten it, but because over here we didn't split with the spaces. Because this doesn't make sense. You cannot read this. Right? Other than that, we have said that okay, if it's that case, FC plus this. This is how I want to do it to achieve it. How we are getting it? So it will have been like this. But splitting at the top here, that is where we had a mistake. Over here. Is it 12? Code dot split. So this we can take off G. So you can say that the remaining characters, right? The remaining characters is supposed to be what? Put yes. It's supposed to be what? Put, right? Dot split. Like this. You are going to get array. The split will give an array, right? Yeah. Now we say slice. We are slicing out 1. But before we do that, we need to make sure you have the 1. Other than that, we will not get it. How it makes sense. So this is how we're going to do it. The first character is equals to what? Put dot split so we have this FC to what? Go. Right? We have FC to go. Now if we have FC to go, we can get the remaining character anytime that we want by using the same split function. So what we have to do now is that we need to split the FC that we have, because when you do FC, you get it like this. So you see, FC dot what? Split. And you are getting this. So when we target this one, we are getting G. You are getting it. So you can now convert G to uppercase. Okay, so if you are combining G to uppercase, you do it like this. Let me just make it G equals to this uppercase. So you now have our G, right? So what we can do here is to get our remaining G, which is FC dot split dot slice, and bring 1. When you do this, you are going to get the G out. Let me try it before we assign variable. We're going to get a G out, 11O, and then we join it. Ouch. You see? So when you now join, you can now concat it cross. So you can say that upper, right, equals to the G that we have. Now you concat with this. So we now have the go. Already we have the split here, there. This one, the one that does the split. Over here, you can pick this particular function and run it here. Now we have our split. So I say this particular split, then slice. What are you slicing? The first one. So the go is gone. Then we can join whatever we are slicing together. With what? Spaces. So when we are done joining, then we can now concatenate the other one, which is what? The upper. We say upper, and then this. Supposed to bring space over here. Concatenate it what? Space. Succeed. There are so many ways of killing a cat, but we just have to be patient. Right, so you have it in a sentence case like this. Okay. We started with functions and we ended in array. That how sometimes it does. Okay, let me take some few questions. Then we go from the functions to the array we just did. I'm recording, so any relevant function, any relevant question regarding to what we have done so far, I'll record it and we solve it. You have the video. Okay. No, we didn't bring one. I brought slice. A slice that I brought one. But you could see that I was using 0, 0 to get the zeros. The index. This is slice 1. This is not index. Slice means what? Take off the number of items in the array. The first one by one. When you make it 2, to take the first 2, second 3, first. No, you don't say when you are targeting. Arrays are referenced by what? Index. That means if you want to get a value in there, that is where you use the zeros, the ones, and all that stuff. But slice is a method used against any array at all. So if you are sliding, if you have cucumber, it's full. You want to slide it out. If you are starting from the end, the cutting starts from the end, right? If you are starting from the beginning, in that order. So slide this one out and give me the remaining. You're getting my point. So if I have example, I can have an array of students, right? Say Amma, right? Then I have Yaovi, right? Hey, my Yaovi spelling. Yaovi. And I have Kofigan. These are my students, right? And let me assign it to the word students. I want to take off Amma and have only Yaovi. So I will say students dot what? 1. Now, if I bring 2, look at what happens. To take all of them out, because there are only 2 left now. See, when I do students, I still have it, right? It tells you that the method doesn't mute. It doesn't mute what? The array. It doesn't mutate it. So even if you have it, your array still stands. So when I come here, then I say dot slice. Then I bring 2 here. What is gone? The first 2 is gone. Can you see that? The first 2 is gone. If I bring 1, what is going? Forget about arrays. Forget about indexes. You are not going to use indexes, right? So don't say that 0 and then no. We are talking about the item, not accessing them. Indexes are hidden. That's what I was explaining. Indexes are hidden. 0, 1, you don't see them. But what you see over here are the values. So slice uses what? The value number, the count of it. The first, the second, the third, not in what? What do you call it? Index form. I hope you understand him now. Yeah. He was saying that since arrays are referenced by indexes, why don't you use 0 here to have it small? You use a count. So 1, that means the first one will go. 2, the first 2 will go, not the second one. So if you want the second one to go, what do you use? If I want to delete Jaovi from here, what do I do? Now, if I do 1, Amma will go. If I bring 2, Amma and Yaovi will go. If I want to take Yaovi out, what is it going to do? Okay. I'll remove it and do what? Brackets like this. And I bring 0 dot slice and what? One. Okay. Slice. Slice 1. See the Y is gone. Slice is used against array. And you are now allowing me to use slice against string. And strings behave like an array. I told you before. You are getting my point. So this is not solving your problem. So how do I take off Yaovi? Okay, so I'll bring Yaovi index is what? 1. Then I'll bring slice dot slice like this 1, 1. Because the moment I do 1, I'll be left with what? Yaovi and Kobi. Amma is gone. So if you allow me to bring another comma, what else? Okay, to save you the time, time is gone. You guys were trying to use this. It's different from slice. The names are confusing. Right? So you bring the index we are trying to what? Remove. Which is what? 1. And how many steps do you want to remove it? 1, which is itself. You take it out. And I think this one imitates what? The array. These are some of the arrays that work, the methods that imitate the array. So when you do student, it will be out. Imitate it. But slice doesn't imitate it. And you saw it. So take note of slice and what? Splice. They are different altogether. If you want to remove it, it's going to be what? Splice. But if you want to take off the first instance, the second instance, and the third instance in that sequential manner, then we are going to use what? Slice. And the slice doesn't change the state of what? The array. Okay, any question again? No question. Okay, it's already 12:26. I didn't record you, Mo. Didn't record. Didn't record because it's supposed to be here for me to stop it. It didn't record. It didn't record. Is it screen recording? Really have fire. Sure. Now where is that? Because the carrot is in the room one. Subhanallah, I did not record it. I'm surprised though. Someone will say me click it, recording. Mama said it. Also, we don't cry mute you. Oh, new screen recording. Okay, let me try to close it and see if it's recorded. It will try to tell me say I should save it. It will try and tell me I should save it. Let me see. I don't know. Also, it was recording. You see, stop recording.